Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. The video that you saw at the start of this edited version kind of speed it up a little to make sure we save some time. At the end was a normal speed, in which this individual went into the store, looked like a clothing store, act as if he was purchasing some stuff, took out a whole bunch of stuff, placed them on the counter. While the lady cashier was about to ring it up, he then wheel and pop off his tool, pointed at her, told her open the register, take out the money. He then forced her into a dressing room, and then the rest is history. Now people don't know exactly what happened, but we can kind of use our imagination. This video was sent to me from a police group, and it was said, send this to JFJ, Jamaicans for Justice, and Indicom. Now, people, I do not know why that should be sent to JFJ, Jamaican for Justice, or Indicom, because that then becomes a police matter whenever any sorts of crime is committed. Now, people, here's the thing. These youths are getting out of hand for sure. These youths are not only robbing people, they are taking away a person's life. And in this case, if I thought he did what I thought he did, him then jump over the lady fence, which is probably the wickedest violation that you can do to a woman. It pretty much takes away her dignity. Take it by force.
I'm concerned that the JFJ supports the idea that Indicom's investigation is being hampered because we do not have body-worn camera footage to present to them, even while they have more than 60% of what is required to complete an investigation. And this includes statements from our members who are involved, ballistic information, report on the circumstances surrounding the case, and primacy over the scene.
So the next thing that is popping in the news, continuing on the theme of Jamaicans for Justice. We saw that they had a peaceful protest on the 29th of April 2025. However, it seems as if the JCF did a counter-protest. The JCF was the blue side, and then JFJ was the black side. I guess they are saying that a whole bunch of persons are getting taken out innocently, extrajudicial takeaway by the police. So the police decided that they were going to launch a counter-protest. So it was blue versus black, which came in late into the race, was winning that race hands down. There were a couple of persons that were on the side of the blue side, meaning the JCF. It was a Rasta man and then a next man. I want you to take a look to the edited version of what both persons had to say. As a matter of fact, take a look to exactly what the Rasta man had to say, and then I'll give my piece.
So when make the man them do them work, too much crime. I take over some people boy like say, and them are the lie, See the liar. And they must take it by truth. Take on by truth. High and low place. God they on the throne. And if God they on the throne, this need to clean up. And the children them need to walk with pride and dignity. And them can't do it because we have some predator. I get to them and stop them in them track before time. These are the law of the earth. And if the law can't carry out the work in peace without interruption, somebody got to go. Someone got to go.
Where is it to them now?
Now, people, when you hear this Rastaman talk, he is echoing the sentiments of a lot of Jamaicans. Should I say most Jamaicans? Yes, because most Jamaicans are fed up. Most Jamaicans are desperate. Most Jamaicans want a change for better. And most Jamaicans see it on the news. So even if they are not affected directly, they are indirectly affected because the crime is rampant in Jamaica. So there's reasons for concern. It is frustration when you see a Rastaman that was always chanting down Babylon is now on the side and advocate for the JSF, which is Babylon, if you look at it, depending on which angle you look at it from. This is the same Rastaman that the police used to ABUSC beat, lock up, fling in a jail for a spliff. So when you say the Rastaman is now lashing out, you should know that times have changed and everybody is feeling it. Everybody, or most persons, are on the side of Babylon. The next person that was also bashing Jamaicans for justice and calling them all sorts of Tekwe people is this one individual. I want you to take a listen, take a look at exactly what he has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
Protest, the little 14-year-old girl, when they murder the other day, who don't come out, who don't come out, who not criminal.
Innocent people use them life.
Who not criminal. Who not criminal. Who not murderer. You're murderer. You're murderer. You're murderer. Murderer.
Yeah, they are doing a good job.
Yes?
And we are standing with them 1000%.
So you're here.
Yeah, supporting the Jamaica Constabulary Force, security force.
What do you make of this protest?
Waste of time. No cause for.
So people, you heard the side of the Rastaman, and then you hear the side of the Barlets. He's pretty much saying that these persons are some Tekwe people too, because they are siding with the criminals. It is, if you're with the police, the JSF, or you're against the police, it cannot be two-way. So in other words, this man is saying that the JSF and Indicom, and in extension, Jamaicans for Justice, which is pretty much on the side, making sure that the police do what they are supposed to do, no sorts of extrajudicial takeaway. These people are saying that it is either you are pro or you are con. It is either you are for or you are against. Both cannot coexist. The job of the JCF is to solve crime. People will get Tekwe, people will get robbed, people will get ABUSED, any sorts of crime from A to Z. That is their mandate. They are the governing body in a Jamaica that solve crime, take away criminals, lock them up, or even send them to the afterlife, which is better, what most persons are saying in a desperate situation. The mandate of Jamaicans for Justice, and in extension, Indicom, is to monitor corrupted cops, monitor ABUSC of power of government entities, to make sure that persons out there rights are not violated, their civil rights are not violated. So therefore, the two bodies, meaning JFF and Indicom and also the JCF, play a very important role. Both of them are supposed to coexist because the facts are these, and this is not just based on Jamaica only. International bodies rank Jamaica, meaning did survey, did investigation, rank Jamaican police amongst the worst when it comes to extrajudicial or abuse of power. So therefore, it is not JFF or Indicom making this up. It does exist. What is JFF asking for? They're asking for the police to wear body cameras. They're asking for the police, if you go for a criminal and yes, he is wanted. They did not say it in as much word. Yes, do your job, take him out, whatever the case is. However, if that person is innocent, you should not take him away. And then worse, when you go to court, you plant toll, you plant this, you plant that, and then you go to court and lie. It seems as if a lot of these persons in Jamaica are not fully aware of that. Yes, it exists, that they are corrupted police, they are rogue police, and these police are out here taking away people's life willy-nilly. So my point is this: the job of JFF is not to solve crime. That means the little 14-year-old will get taken away by whomever. It is not the JFF job to go out there and protest. Yes, little girl's life matter, little boy's life matter, granny life matter, but it's not their mandate. That is not their job. It is as if you're asking your lawyer to be a shoemaker or the shoemaker to be a cobbler. Everybody have a mandate. Everybody have a job title. The title of Indicom and JFF is to monitor the police and abuse of state entities against abusing its citizens or residents. It is as simple as that. No other explanation needs to be given. Them ask the body camera, where are the body cameras? They got over 400, then they got some more, but nobody's going on any sorts of operation. So it's as simple as, where the body camera them, so therefore you can validate or verify whatever you say when you go on any of these missions. Not kill innocent people. How much harder is that? How hard is that for you to comply with that? That is all I am saying. And I understand that people are kind of dark when it comes to certain things. And yes, people get desperate and them getting them feelings. So therefore, they want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. It makes absolutely no sorts of sense. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is an update as it pertains to that TikToker that was taken out. His name is BABASKENG. He is said to be the son, confirmed, of Jamaican reggae artist. Now, people, the latest update is that the persons who did it were on a live on TikTok. Surprise, surprise, surprise. And they were saying that this man was in a badness. This man was on one side. So therefore, if I deal with the badness can also take him out. But on the flip side of the coin, again, on TikTok Live, there was a group of persons and they are claiming that, listen, Jamaican and FANTAN MOJAH, both reggae artists, was in some sorts of rupture, and then the son take it up, or the son involved, and then the father take it up. Both of them represent different sides. Now, if you don't know, two very notorious gangs off Reddy's Road, that is Park Lane and 100 Lane, don't know if they are foes, don't know what is the situation, if there's some sorts of feud going on right now. Yes, there's always feud, so therefore I would not be surprised. Not to say that it has anything to do with this youth losing him life, but I just put the point out there. So the next person I say, a FANTAN MOJAH and the son kick off, and FANTAN MOJAH sent threats, and the son was executed in that threat. So people, I am going to play the edited version of both sides of the story, and then I am going to give my piece.
Your face, no? Fuck your mother. First one. So tell me now, what am I going to hurt the youth? I can do it. We don't want that. We don't want the reason that the people they want. Valid the reason. Tell the people them why. Tell the people them son a bad mind the youth. Bad mind for the man they have no. The man they have. Tell the people them so if the youth have no one we can analyze him. You mean a badness. Stop talking with him about idiot. Me say, tell the people them why you analyze the youth and I tell the youth pinpoint in a bad. I want to tell the
you hear him say? Ask my dog, Pillman that, and listen again.
mind the youth.
Cause you notice, if you don't notice, me not stop ask him why. Tell the people me not stop. And you hear him say? Ask the dog, Pillman, say man give up the shoot already. Just to show you so them, it matter who them man.
The man they have no. The man they have tell the people them so if the youth have no one we can analyze him. You mean a badness. Stop talking with him about idiot.
So people, like I've always said, there are always three sides to every story. His side, her side, and the truth. Well, the first side is based on the first live that was taking place on TikTok. And you hear these youths proudly self-snitching, proudly saying that, yes, I them do it, they even gave name. And the reason was not justified, but they gave a little flanky reason. Now, people, when I listen to this, first thing I have to say, when it comes to social media, believe half of what you see and half of what you hear. When it comes to TikTok, which is indeed social media, the bottom of the barrel, you should almost not believe anything, none at all. Person are always there capping. Now, I understand that there's a reason why we say these criminals in Jamaica are fully done. But nobody is that fully done, Sarah. To actually do something like that, fresh, then go on a live and call names and incriminate themselves. But then again, we are dealing with persons with very low IQ. So we should not be surprised at anything that we see on social media, especially on TikTok. It is all about the views. It is all about the clout. It is all about clout chasing, riding that wave of this youth, losing his life, unfortunately. So that is one side of the flip coin. Take a listen, take a look to exactly what they have to say as it pertains to FANTAN MOJAH.
A deportee.
Them find out.
You
Them
know,
find
when
kill
we
already.
from America, everybody, me go through 2019, everybody think me get deported.
Because
I know my family, I know my fly down
apparently, Jamaican Sunday in a
so
jail up there.
When you get deported from America, then deal with the wicked.
And him go back to Jamaica and him dip him.
Size and style, all kind of
And then,
kids, and man pressure you.
apparently,
Yeah.
the man, what the Rasta man name again? FANTAN MOJAH.
And the family, I say, yo, right now,
The man FANTAN MOJAH has some issue. And a FANTAN MOJAH send man figure deal with the crime. It's a page named Mad Rats.
So, Jamaican daughter just call him mother a while ago, and them a look for him, so you know it's a real thing. Yeah, we don't make up nothing. And when the business are who and what one, and I tell you, we don't forget involved. It's a reason why we involved. Yeah, y'all like code them broke.
A FANTAN MOJAH.
Yeah, we have to fix things now.
FANTAN MOJAH blood clot family. FANTAN MOJAH send them say. Them say a FANTAN MOJAH send. Man fi go kill the youth. Because of some dissing we want.
When I youth them, it's a true. Then come from Madras life and I say certain things. So you have to evaluate everything. You know, we have people that look on every angle. And this constant thing I come up now. What them I say beef are going with. Me hear the next youth them in say war, turf war are going.
Them man one next artist.
Yeah.
Me hear about that. Me they got ask, me they got DM. Madras
So
and
that,
just investigate
Yeah. So that's why I'm not too pressure. So turf war are going between FANTAN MOJAH and Jamaican.
From earlier.
So whether it's alleged or not, we still need them look at it.
no, we have to explore it because you see, even if I'm not sure, we can't keep it on the internet, under the carpet, because we don't want it to develop into something, because name a call, and people, you don't know what going on. So, yeah, we want this clarity, we want to clarify, we don't want to bother direction and develop way.
Now, people, you do not have to be the sharpest tool in the shed to know that when you listen to two stories, two sides of this story, is either is a set of gang over here that says it has nothing to do with Jamaican, nothing to do with FANTAN MOJAH, is a group of young men that people are saying them bad mind are there on the rival side as it pertains to this youth. When we listen to the side as it pertains to FANTAN MOJAH, as it pertains to Jamaican, as it pertains to Jamaican's son, the TikToker, first thing first, two Rastaman, or rascal, whichever one, because people, the truth and the fact is that a man is just a man in these days, and you don't know the Rasta different from the ballad, you don't know the Rasta different from the dready or the rascal. So I am not saying that Jamaican is not a Rasta, I am not saying that FANTAN MOJAH is not a Rasta. However, they might be, at least one of them is a new wave. You know exactly which one that is. So you're going to tell me that FANTAN MOJAH and Jamaican's son, which him know, have a problem and they could not solve it. They could not talk it out. Two Rastaman, which is supposed to be the epicenter of reasoning, could not sit down and talk it over a spliff up a Bubble Hill. People, do you see where this is going? All of these that we are hearing makes absolutely no sort of sense. Don't know which one is worse, and people, I am not saying that it is not a possibility, but just I say, more than likely, persons are just capping. More than likely, persons are just calling name. More than likely, persons are just, unfortunately, riding the wave of this youth, losing his life. And again, this is my disclaimer. This is just my opinion, because it could be true, especially as it well, I'm not going to say that. So people, you heard both sides of the story. What do you think? Do you think that they are capping? Because the truth and the fact is that this youth, based on information that is circling out there, lives in an environment that is very volatile, meaning you have Park Lane, you have 100 Lane, you have gang rivalry. And the fact that he was a deportee makes it even amped up a little bit more. What was he deported for? Was he in some sort of mix-up overseas? And that mix-up crossed the border and come to Jamaica, and somebody X him and cross him out. That is yet to be determined by the investigators, the professional, not persons like me. So people, you heard both sides of the story. Let me know what you think in the comment section, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Peace up.